Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm Gaurav Gupta, and today we are here to welcome Miss Ekta Shetty, basically who has written CAT in 2014. Now she's our guest for today's session, and she'll be sharing her success strategy with all of us. Okay, so before I'll switch over to Ekta. Uh, I'll just introduce Ekta in front of you a little bit. So I'll give a brief round of introduction for Ekta. Now, Ekta Shetty, like I mentioned that she has taken CAT in year 2014, 7 years back. Okay, so she is a super senior for all of you. Now, in this CAT, she has scored 99.48 percentile. All right. And after scoring this a wonderful score in CAT, she did her MBA in marketing from IIM Lucknow in the batch of 2015 to 2017. Now, at present, she's sitting at 4 years of work experience in regional marketing, okay, where she manages social media activities and engagements. The other things that she manages are event management, email marketing, blogs, and external PR. Now, we can say that she's a passionate a Toastmaster who loves to inspire people through her leadership skills and inspirational speeches. So she is a good speaker as well. All right. Now, apart from all these things, she is a good reader, a travel addict, and a sports aficionado. Now, looking at all these things that she possesses, we can say that she is a perfect all-rounder. All right. So here I'll introduce Ekta in front of you. All of you can see her live now. So Ekta, welcome to this session. Welcome to the Gradeup.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for the warm introduction. I'm so glad to be here.
Okay, so Ekta, a lot of our viewers, they basically are here to know about your CAT success story. Okay, so just to start with, if you can again introduce yourself, some key things that I have probably missed. Okay, so just sharing something about yourself and then talking about how your CAT journey was.
Sure. So, what has been missed in my introduction, what I can add is that I am a South Indian, born and brought up in South India, in Bangalore, in Karnataka. But my Hindi is believed to be very good, because of which a lot of people mistake me to be a North Indian or somebody who was born and brought up in North India. But apart from that, I believe when I was doing my 11th and 12th standard, I was doing science. I somehow realized then that there were two subjects that I was very good at: mathematics and English. And people start in college used to discuss about writing CAT way back in 11th, 12th only, which is when I decided that after my graduation also that I would also want to go down that route
All
of
right.
doing my MBA, right? So that's exactly how the idea came into being long back. I did not start my preparation then, but I believe it was this encouragement from a few of my teachers and my peers,
Mhm.
even in 11th and 12th standard, that if you do write CAT one day, I'm sure you will crack it. Based on a
So
very gentle
basically,
perspective.
so we can say that basically you start getting the guidance from your 11th and 12th standard.
No, it was not guidance, but I think just the confidence that they had in me that
Mhm.
I could crack the exam. That was
All
the
right, all right.
confidence discussion.
Okay, so you were a good student from early days, as we can
Yes.
say. Okay, okay, great. This was the confidence that was shown on you from your faculty members, from the peer group. Okay, so they were always confident. But when did you decide to go for CAT?
So when I was doing my engineering, I was a I did my engineering in computer science in Bangalore only. I did realize that I was not very good at coding.
Hmm.
So I was decent, obviously, because you needed to secure good marks and it's so competitive in our
Right.
education system. So I did my best, but I did realize that my best was also not enough for me to excel. And
Okay.
I have read this somewhere that if you're not excelling in whatever you're doing, then maybe you're not good at it or it doesn't interest you. You're not very good at it or it does not interest you. Your skill or ability or your interest lies somewhere else. And it's for us to figure that out. So I realized that no matter what I did, I couldn't come up to a particular level where some people were already there. And for me, because I had excelled in school and till my 11th and 12th, when I realized that I was lagging behind, I realized that this is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life, not be an IT engineer, not be a coder for the rest of my life. So I would definitely want to do something else. And what next? Now for that, obviously, I wouldn't say that I did anything different. An MBA is something that a lot of people think of, but I realized that English and math, the two subjects or the two disciplines that are required to crack this exam, are the two subjects that I'm already good at or that I have a grasp on. Not that I can take things for granted that I won't prepare and I will go directly, but I at least knew that I can start off on a strong note, which is why I decided that I would do this. And that would also give me an opportunity to change my stream. Like computer science was something that I wanted to get out of and move to something where I got varied options to pick up.
So just now I have got a question, Ekta, from a student. Now that student is curious to know that why did you not want to continue in computer engineering?
Like I said, I wasn't very good at it. As in marks, I believe, okay, I was, maybe you can say I was in the top 10 in college, but I still realized that it was not something that was driving me very passionately. And I knew that there were these coding competitions that used to take place in college and people used to excel, people used to crack them. For me, it was like a burden sometimes, like, okay, I need to write this piece of code because I will have to crack this exam or I'll have to do well in this practical exam, which is why I'm learning this programming language. But it never came out of pure interest, which is when I realized that at least I'm not meant for it. And this is not something that I can continue to use my brain on for the rest of my life.
All right.
That clarity I got.
So one general thing that I have just in my mind is, like, since you are already into 4 years of your career, 4 years of your work experience, so can we say that if somebody is not interested towards doing something, like be it studies, be it sports, be it exercising, so if I'm not interested towards that field, so I should not go in that direction, I should change my direction immediately. So what is your take on that? What are your views on this?
Actually, Gaurav, what I feel is that sometimes we don't know what we want ourselves. And what may seem like it doesn't interest us may actually end up being something that we're very good at. Like, for example, I tried computer science engineering for 4 years. I completed the course, and in the due course of time, I realized that it wasn't meant for me. So I believe that if you have an attractive career option or a studies choice in front of you, and you may think at that point in time that's not good enough, but I believe that you should not let the opportunity go. Try it for yourself. Sometimes it may end up being the best decision that you've ever made. So I believe that thankfully now we are living in that age where it's perfectly okay to start something, realize that you're not good at it, and still give up on it. It's okay. People do change their decisions. People do change their career track. I think it's fine that way.
Great. So please take us through your journey for the preparation of CAT, what you did, how many hours did you study for? Because this is one thing that most of the students would like to know, that okay, we are like having a person who is already an MBA from IIM Lucknow. So how many hours did she devote to the studies for the preparation of CAT? So all these things a little in detail.
Right. So because there is one thing about me, and each person is different. I am a very dedicated person. Like, you can call me hardworking, and I know that I need to work very hard and I need to be on my toes. I know you to hear stories of these people that I just stayed up one night and then I was able to top the exam. I am definitely not one of them. I am very hardworking and I don't mind admitting it also. So I knew that CAT, because it's believed to be not just the toughest entrance examination in India, but also in the world. It's way more difficult than GMAT when you look at the difficulty level. So I knew that if I have to stand a chance here, especially in a country like ours, where there are plenty of people and the seats are too less, it's very competitive, you need to be at your best. You need to be better than the best. So
Right.
I would devote 3 hours on weekdays, even after my studies got over and after all my prior commitments got over. And on weekends, I would devote 5 to 6 hours very
Okay.
dedicatedly. Yes, very
So we
dedicated.
can say that on an average, 24 to 25 hours in a
Yes,
week's
you
time,
can say
we can
that.
say that.
Correct.
Okay, so listeners, please make a note of it. So you need to devote some time. It's not like that if like every day you are studying for just 1 hour or 1.5 hours and you'll be able to do good in CAT. So if we are an average student, I can say that if we are an average student, we are hardworking, we know. So still to crack this examination, we need to devote good amount of time. All right. So yes, Ekta, you may continue.
Okay, thanks, Gaurav. So apart from that, what I realized was that since I got that confidence from a lot of people around me, I knew that I at least did not need full-fledged coaching. I did not have to go to a coaching center. And so
Okay.
what I decided was that I would not enroll myself in any coaching center, but these coaching centers have very good mock exams, like
Right.
a very good. In fact, they're tougher than the actual CAT exam.
Mm-hmm.
And that is required for you to practice and improve. So what I did was firstly, okay, if I may share what I did, in Bangalore, there is a place called Avenue Road where
Okay.
you get content, like you can get content. So I borrowed a few books of material, studied them
Right.
myself, basic 10th to 12th mathematics and English. So
Just to brush up your basic
just to
concepts.
brush up my basics. And then after that, I took each one of the tests. I enrolled in the test series program basically. So I
All
started
right.
doing these tests and exams very seriously. There were some mock tests in which I did horribly. And one thing that I realized was because I was a part of like these discussion groups that you have on the internet. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing that a lot of people said was that it's not about doing well or badly in an exam, but how well you analyze. For example, if you take a
Exactly.
mock exam for 3 hours, it's more important for you to, it's okay, even if you end up not getting a very good percentile in that particular mock. But after that, how and when will you find time to sit and redo the paper, take as much time as possible and analyze where you went wrong? Because if you are not analyzing and if you are just doing, if you are just taking mocks one after the other, you will not improve. You will not know where you are strong, where you are weak. And it's very important that you don't repeat your mistakes. For that, it's important to sit and analyze. And I think that is the best part. If you sit and analyze, let's say for a 3 hour exam, if you're able to devote 6 hours on a Sunday, take your breaks in between and needn't be continuous. But that will definitely help you. You need not even take all the mock exams, to be honest. Even if you're taking 10 mocks, but if you're analyzing each mock very well, that will definitely go a long way in improving your score the next time.
Okay, great. So, Ekta, this is the same thing I advise my students as well over the years, that taking a mock is not important.
Right.
Taking a mock and then analyzing it after taking it
Yes,
is more important. And then, like, from there, the learning comes.
exactly.
Right, right. So, Ekta, this was your prep strategy, a basic prep strategy that you basically took help of some study material to clear your concepts. So we can say that you must be above average in quant or in maths or verbal. Okay, so you must
Yes.
be above average. So what advice will you give to students who are not good at verbal or not good at quantitative aptitude?
For and I do understand because sometimes if you're from a vernacular medium, English could become a problem. I know that for a few people. So basically, not all of us are born speaking English, or in fact, even quant also is developed over time. But
Yes.
the good part about CAT is that it's not. I believe, at least I feel, I haven't given the JEE myself. That is of a different level. The mathematics
Mhm.
that you'll encounter there, this is still doable and crackable. But the only thing is you need to be dedicated enough and you need to start understanding. I believe for people who don't have a strong foundation in quant and verbal, my first advice would be please attend a full-fledged coaching class. not just test series, because I'm sure all of us will be able to analyze our strengths and weaknesses ourselves. If you know that your foundation is not strong, you need to make it strong. So please attend a full-fledged coaching class. That will require a lot of time, maybe your travel time also. Of course, now it's online, but even if it does become offline, you should realize that you need to devote that extra time so that you can get better at it. So it is
All
very
right.
important.
Great, great. So, friends, Ekta has just told us about the relevance of attending lectures regularly, relevance of taking mocks, and then doing a proper analysis after that. Now, Ekta, what is like the relevance of other things like, see, if I'm preparing for CAT, okay, I need to have a strong quant and strong verbal. But the CAT is not the ultimate goal.
Right.
Doing an MBA from a good college is my ultimate goal,
Yes.
right? So, what other things that a student need to take care about if he or she wants to secure an admission in, let's say, top 20 B schools in the country?
Right. So obviously, I completely agree with you, Gaurav. One is cracking the exam, of course, is important. You will do your best, but after that, because it's not a direct admission that you get in any of the B schools, there is a process
Right,
between that all of us need to go through. And that is the GDPI process, or it could only be PI, or it could be any defined process by that particular college. So what I feel is that thankfully we're living in the age of overload of information. So we will know which college has what criteria and what is it that they are looking for. Basically, we shouldn't, like, for example, if you've given your CAT exam in October or November, do not wait till you get your results in January to actually start preparing for your GDPI. You should always be prepared. You should prepare beforehand. Because even if you do not end up getting calls, it will stand you in good stead for the next year. It will never go waste. So what you should try to do is interact. I'm sure all of us will have our friends groups and people who are preparing for similar exams in the same year. You can start preparing with them. You can have mock discussions. And if you're already a part of a good coaching institute, they are very, very prompt and proactive. As soon as your exams get over, you will be like, you can get invited for those panel discussions and those group
right.
discussions. Take them very, very seriously. It is not a joke that, okay, I can just come and say whatever I want. You should, whenever you're even going for a mock interview or a mock GD, I believe that you should take it up with the same seriousness that, oh, this is my IIM Ahmedabad interview. This is my IIM Bangalore interview. Because when you do it like that, the person in front of you can also give you very honest feedback based on which you can work and improve. And it'll also help you know where you've gone wrong so that the next time you're giving an interview, you're much more confident. And I feel that for a GD or PI, generally, like when questions are asked, you need to be knowledgeable. Knowledgeable as in, you're not writing IAS, so you need not know every fact that there is to know. You need not be a walking, talking Wikipedia, but at the same time, you still need to be aware of what is happening. And I think that should be done by any basic human being, even if you're not writing.
Exactly. Huh.
So, like every day, just even if we don't get a physical newspaper nowadays, just go to any of the good websites. Like it could be, okay, if I start naming, then people will think I have a particular ideology, but it can be any of the
But
websites.
you can still name a few of them so that
I
our
can, I
users,
can. Actually, this was told to me and it really helped. So I want to share this with all, whoever is here today, that if you do not have an opinion of your own, it is okay. You can still borrow others' opinion and you can build on it. And it's important to have an opinion, especially when you're taking part in a GD and sometimes to answer trick questions in a PI also. So for that, there is a website called firstpost.com. So firstpost.com, their opinion pieces, just read their opinion pieces. They are very detailed, very lengthy, and they are very unbiased. They don't take sides, not one side, not the other side, but it's very balanced. So this will help you build your opinion also. This was one website that was recommended to me when I was doing the mock interview, and it helped. And I've been reading that website ever since. Apart from that, you can also read the Hindu, so online, the Hindu,
right?
and there is ndtv.com.
So Ekta, what I've been suggesting all my students is like, obviously you have like told us a lot of good resources that the students can use in today's world. But I have always been conventional in this. So what I suggest students is, like, other than like apart from reading all this stuff online from the portals that you have told us, from the e-paper of Hindu. So what my take is, what my say is, like, a person should also be reading the editorial page of a newspaper.
Yes,
So
yes,
you can tell us,
absolutely.
like, what is the relevance of that as well?
Actually, yes. In fact, when I was saying it's not just, it's not just about reading the Bollywood part, the page 3 page. Definitely not. That's not what I was suggesting. I mean, of course, for your own, in your own leisure
Exactly,
time,
just to
and for
refresh
some,
yourself. Hmm.
absolutely, we can all do that. But what you should focus on is, obviously, on the front page, you will know the key items, like
Right.
whatever is making the headlines, which you should know about, because it could end up becoming a topic of discussion in your JD. But on the editorial page, the good part is that they cover everything that is relevant and is being discussed now. And it's being given by experts. So they've clearly done their research already. You don't even have to do that extra bit of research. If you just read their article, you will automatically get very good ideas from there. But when I say read an article, you don't really have to mug up or by heart points from there, but you can try to understand as much as you can. I believe from a good editorial article, even if you're able to bring up one line or one point in your GD, that's good enough.
That will be,
That's very good.
yes, yes, agreed, totally agreed. So Ekta, like, if I talk about this entire procedure, so what I understand after talking to you, obviously we need to crack CAT. This is one thing, and then
Absolutely.
after CAT we have our GDs and interviews, for which we need to be, like, well aware of different things which are happening around us. We just need to keep our ear and eye open so
Right.
that we
Right.
get to know what is happening around us.
Exactly.
Now, one of the question I have got from one of the students, Madhu is asking, internship, how internship will affect the MBA resume?
Okay, so
So,
I have,
so basically the role of doing internships in our college, or maybe
right.
if we are having a gap between our grads and post graduation. So if I'm doing internship, how much help will it provide to us?
So if this is particularly, like, I think in college, all of us end up doing internships in our final year.
Right.
That's
Hmm.
a part of the curriculum. And obviously, that is our first exposure to any kind of corporate world outside of our college. So
Mhm.
we treat it very seriously and we try to do our best. But apart from that, if the question is about a gap, and if students or whoever it is doing that, I think it's perfectly okay. Colleges nowadays, I believe, are very, very liberal in their thinking. I know people. I know this one person who actually took a break for a year, and he traveled extensively in India just to teach yoga as a yoga freelancer, like whenever he felt like. And he wrote exactly that. He said, trekking the Himalayas and teaching yoga to whoever I felt like. And he got into IIM Ahmedabad. So I think it's about the conviction with which you are able to convince your base. Irrespective of what is written in your resume, I'm sure everybody understands that nobody reads every word of your resume. They only
Definitely.
brush through it. So of course, the key points should come out clearly. So whatever work you have done, I think the more important part is how you present it, what you learned out of it, and did you become better than what you were before. So if you're just able to show that and what kind of impact it created in your life, I think it's more than enough, irrespective of what you do. It could be an internship experience. It could just be a simple gap that you've taken, some NGO work that you've done. How you are presenting it when you are actually put in that situation in the interview is all that matters.
Okay, okay. So what will be the role of my overall profile if I talk about this entire selection procedure?
Right, right. So obviously, different IIMs have different criteria. But I
Okay.
believe when I was like obviously appearing for the IIM Lucknow interview, they were very particular about you having at least a certain score in your 10th, 12th, and your graduation. They were very particular. And
Okay.
I believe that the top three, A, B especially, they look for toppers in graduation. They really want those kinds of people. But they do make exceptions. It's not that that's the only criteria. They are, because they
Mhm.
want non-engineers also. They just don't want the college to be full of engineers. So they are trying to be a little more lenient, if I may say, in their criteria. But one thing that you can assure is, see, even if your, let's say because of your graduation score or your 10th or 12th score, if you're not making the cut, I believe a good CAT score, at least for me, I consider some of these colleges, FMS Delhi, JBIMS, as very good colleges in our country. And FMS doesn't really look at your 10th, 12th score at all. You need a high CAT score, of course, but it's a college that evaluates you just on the basis of merit. Plus, one important thing is that the fees, obviously, because the money does come into play for all of us. Right. And in a college like FMS, I think it's increased to 1.92 lakhs now for 4 years, 48,000 per semester. In my time, it was 25,000 for 2 years. So very cheap, and the rate of and it's not just about it being cheap. The value that you get, and plus the kind of placements and the knowledge that you gain.
Yes.
So I think it's not just about getting into an IIM. Like you said, Gaurav, the
friends, I think we have small problem. Wait, so I could not receive the streaming from Ekta. So just give me 1 minute. I'll quickly check what is the problem, because I'm unable to receive the live stream from Ekta. So please hold on for a few seconds. All right, so Ekta is back live. So Ekta, can you hear us?
Sorry,
no problem, no problem. It happens.
There's a power cut at home.
No problem. Yes. So all of us are still here waiting for you. Okay, so yes, Ekta, so we may continue.
Yes, so Gaurav, I was just saying that there are so many good colleges in the country where it's not just about studying in an IIM, but you can, it's about what you want. And in fact, there's ISP Hyderabad also. Of course, for that you need to write GMAT, but I believe they accept CAT scores also. So there are various good colleges in our country. In fact, even the IITs, I think they have their own MBA colleges. So there's one in Bombay, one in Delhi, and in Kharagpur. Yes, yes. So these are also very good, and they offer MBA at a much reasonable rate than the top.
Exactly.
IIMs.
So we can say that rate of return on investment on such in such colleges is like pretty well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so guys, we understand from whatever is told to us by Ekta that obviously having a good profile will help us in cracking some good B schools. Definitely, I should be doing internship in and after the college. All right, but as Ekta mentioned that it's not an end of life if I don't have a good profile, if I haven't done internships. So there are plenty of colleges like FMS. Which will not give a lot of focus on your profile. But again, it is good to have a good profile. All right. Okay. Now, Ekta, let's say I come from a background like where I could not build up my profile. Let's say, assume that I am a candidate, I'm sitting for CAT, and I have an average, or I'll say poor profile up till now. Okay, so what should be the plan for me before or till CAT?
If you have a poor profile, I believe it's still something that you're talking about in the past. You have it in you to change your future. So you can end up working in a very good company. there are these companies, for example, there are certain companies which are known like for the kind of cutting edge work they do in technology or whatever stream you're doing work in. Let's say that you are taking up internships, different kinds of different, if you have varied experiences. Let's say that you're working with an NGO and the next minute you're doing some internship in artificial intelligence. So if you have varied experiences that you can show, if you have traveled, if you have done things by pursuing your hobby, let's say, then I think all these will matter a lot. So it's not just about, yeah, of course, the profile matters. Like you said, having a good profile helps, but you always have that option of building your profile, Gaurav, by doing different things. I think having that volunteering experience as maybe in an NGO, or you find out from your friends where you can volunteer, all this definitely helps.
All right, definitely. So friends, if you don't have any kind of good profile, if you haven't done anything good right now, till now, I can say still we have 4 months for this year's CAT, and those who are preparing for next year's CAT, they have plenty of time in building up their profile. So one thing that Ekta will suggest all of you, that it's always good to have some additional features in your profile that will basically strengthen your candidature for like scoring or securing an admission in one of the good B schools of our country. Ekta, we have a question from Mahi. She has asked this question 15 minutes ago. I was waiting for the right time. So she's asking that, can I start the preparation for this year's CAT right now when we have only 4 months left?
Absolutely. It's fine. If you've made up your mind that you want to write the exam, it's fine. But like I said, since you have less time left than obviously a lot of others who may have started preparing last year only for this year's CAT exam,
right,
you will have to work very hard. Maybe if you've taken a break completely from your studies or work, then I believe that is the kind of devotion that is needed to crack the exam, because you can't take things lightly.
Right. So Mahi, pull up your socks. So you can't just score good in CAT by studying 1 or 2 hours in a day, because like Ekta mentioned, there are a lot of people who have already started. So some of us have started 6 months back. Some of the students, they have started even in the last year for this year's CAT. Okay, so you have to be like, since this is the exam of competition, you don't have to score, you don't just have to score a particular amount of marks that will take you, that will ensure your position in any of the B schools. Okay, so it's a competitive examination, so you need to do better than the other students. Okay, so now start studying for CAT, probably 7 to 8 hours in a day. Start attending lectures, take mock papers seriously, and begin your preparation. All right.
Actually, Gaurav, one point that I think I missed sharing with all the students is that when you're taking a mock also, and this is what you should do in the actual exam. Don't simply go on marking every question if you're not sure, because CAT has negative marking. So there's a +3 and a -1. I know that we're doing it because we think that we may end up getting that +3, but sometimes it's those minuses that actually is the difference between somebody who has not cracked CAT and who has made it to an IIM. So I feel that you should try to maximize the number of correct attempts. For that, even if you're attempting less questions, but if you're still, I believe you will know where to take a risk. Like sometimes in verbal, you can take a risk, because if you're not able to understand any question in reading comprehension, you can still give it a try, 1 or 2 questions after reading, because if all the options seem vague. But in case of mathematics, I believe because the answer will be exact, so you will have to try to get the answer, and don't waste a lot of time on one question. If you know that you're getting stuck, either leave it or come back later, or just leave it and go to the next question, because it's important that sometimes for people it becomes an issue of ego, that I have spent so much time on this, I will crack this. But you can't do it in a competitive exam where time is also very critical. So
I totally agree with you on this. Okay, so guys, these are some very, very important tips that Ekta has given all of you. Now, Ekta, finally, one last thing that I want to ask, like,
yes.
or there might be some of the students who are right now watching this session. Okay, now let's say like there might be some students who were not able to crack any of the interviews or GDPI rounds, we can say, after
Right.
CAT. Okay, so I have scored good in CAT, but I'm unable to crack this particular round.
Right.
Okay, or let's say there might be some students who are unable to score good in CAT altogether. So what is your tips for such people, for such students?
My tip would be the same, because we are living in a world of endless opportunities now. I believe we're all a very lucky generation of people. We have access to so many more resources than our parents or grandparents ever had. So I believe that you shouldn't get dejected only if you haven't cracked CAT or any competitive exam, even if you've not made it to the interview. Because I know that it may sound very philosophical if I say it, everything happens for a reason and it happens for the best, but that's how it works. So if you always have a plan B when you are doing something in life, plan A may end up working most of the time then. But if you don't have a backup plan, that is when things may totally backfire for you. For example, if there's somebody who's taken a gap, it's perfectly okay. You can go back to work, you can resume work. They may not end up giving you so much of a raise, but you can still end up starting off at the same salary where you left off, and then you can build. So I believe that for everybody, there should be an option that what is it, and you never know, that backup option may end up being the best thing that you've ever done in your life. It may end up giving you more returns than you have by even writing CAT. And I know that so many entrepreneurs, I know my friends, they are first generation entrepreneurs from I wouldn't even call it a tier 1 or tier 2, maybe a tier 3 engineering college. And they are running IT companies of their own and they're very successful. But they decided that they would work on it. And so I believe that if you have that intent, passion, and drive in anything that you do, even if you fail in one, you will almost always end up succeeding in something else because you have the right attitude. So I think that it's like an open forum, and it's not that only people from IIMs or only people from a good B school end up succeeding in life. Definitely not. There are so many success stories, and we all read about it. So yeah.
Rightly. Like we can't agree more on this. So Ekta just mentioned that like we are working on plan A, but it's always good to have a backup plan, a plan B. Okay, so now if we are unable to succeed in plan A, let's say if I'm not able to crack CAT, I have not cracked any of the GDs, PIs, the second round of interviews. So there is like this is not the end of the road. So you can now go towards plan B. Now plan B can be any plan. So either you may join a job and then take a CAT the next year. Okay. If you don't have any job, you may start preparing for CAT again the same year. All right. So all these kinds of things that if kept as plan B, if you have thought about all these things properly, okay, then they will definitely work. Okay, so you should not be giving up on this preparation thing. Okay, so you should always keep moving, keep going ahead. So there will be something good that will be there in front of you. Also, one more thing, it's not that if you are an MBA from any of the top B schools will work for you. Okay, so the backup plan can be fine. Yeah, if I'm unable to crack a good B school, then I can go for tier 2 or even tier 3 colleges. I should work hard while doing my MBA. I should be like interning in some of the good companies. All right, and then I'll start my life from there. All right. So Ekta, any last words that you would like to say to the students who are listening to this?
I would just like to say that enjoy your journey, because it's very important that this process of preparation and preparing, I'm sure it will teach you a lot of things. And CAT is not the be all and end all of everything in life. There is so much more to life than just a competitive exam. So I honestly, this is like sincere advice. Going into a state of depression or becoming sad because of something that may not work out in your life. Like I said, this is the best time for anybody to be living in. So we have endless opportunities, and somewhere or the other, you will find another opportunity, you will find something else to do. So please just don't give up. And if you feel that CAT is what you are meant to do, it's okay. Like Gaurav said, you can try again, you can try again. But even that, after a point in time, if it is hampering your peace of mind, and if you feel that you are getting nowhere, it's okay to sometimes change your track also, and to decide about what is good for your own peace of mind and what is good for you, maybe. So it's okay to change decisions also sometimes. This is what I would like to end with. Thank you, Gaurav.
All right. Thank you, Ekta. Thank you very much. So friends, this was Miss Ekta Shetty, and I'm Lucknow graduate. She has done her MBA in marketing from IIM Lucknow in 2015 to 2017. So we'll keep coming with such expert advice, expert sessions for all of you. Thank you, Ekta. Thank you from the side of all the students who are listening to you today. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you.